What's up, everybody? My name is JustJarrod, and welcome back to another No Man's Sky video. And this one is going to be a little argumentative, if that's a word. I don't know, but I'm going to be talking about the multiplayer in No Man's Sky and the fact that there is no multiplayer in No Man's Sky, because on comments on my videos, I'm always having people. Well, recently, always. I guess I haven't always actually. Within the past week or two, okay? I've had people comment about how they're excited to do this with other players and do this with other people and hope that multiplayer will come to the game. I'm just here to talk about right now, there will be no multiplayer in No Man's Sky, and if you haven't heard that there will be no multiplayer, just look up multiplayer in No Man's Sky in Google search, and you will get tons of articles of Sean Murray saying that there is not going to be any multiplayer, okay? I just want to lay all this to rest, because I don't want a multiplayer. Some people don't want a multiplayer, and the reasoning behind this is because I want this to be a different kind of game. There's enough games out that are multiplayer based, and I know I play a lot of multiplayer games, and a lot of online games are multiplayer, and I want this experience to be in a single player experience. I want the game to make me feel like I'm alone in a huge universe, and I've talked about that before. We could go into why I don't want multiplayer more, but I'm not going to. This is mainly about why there isn't a multiplayer, and that there isn't a multiplayer. So don't expect a multiplayer. Sean Murray knows, okay? Sean Murray knows. I don't know him personally, no. But he has said, okay, that they are not making a game that's based around a multiplayer. They are making a game that he wants people to realize is an experience more so than a game. Now, he knows he's targeting a specific audience when it comes to No Man's Sky. He knows there are people and fans who are going to want a multiplayer, whether it's a PvP activity or more so where you can join up with friends and explore. Now, joining up with friends and exploring, I can see that. That I might be okay with, but PvP, not so much. All in all, I'd rather just be alone, you know? I just want people to know that if you are expecting multiplayer to be in No Man's Sky at launch, just don't get hyped up for it, because there's not going to be multiplayer at launch. Yes, there is quote-unquote multiplayer. You can 0.0001% chance you'll ever find another player in the game, because it is all online if you're playing online. There's a chance you'll find another player, but it is extremely rare. The reasons why it's extremely rare: number one, because the game is so humongous. Number two, everybody starts out on a different planet at the outer edge of the universe. Number three, there's no in-game chat. Number four, there's no PSN, like name above players' heads or their ships. And number five, you don't know what you look like, so how are you going to know what other players look like? You don't. So when you see something that could be another player, how are you going to know it's another player if there's no in-game chat, no name above their head, or you don't know what they're supposed to look like anyways? So that's why I think even if you do run into, on the small off chance, another player, you're not going to know it's another player. It's as simple as that. You're not going to know. And, you know, if you want to team up with your friend Jimmy on a planet out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, how is he supposed to find that planet? There's no, like number, map, you can't tell him to go to these coordinates. There's none of that. And, you know, truthfully, even if you guys had two PS4s or two PCs with two monitors lined up next to each other, started the game at the exact same time on launch day, right? You both start out in different planets anyways. There's no way to just look at both of your maps and just find a way to get to each other. Because, I mean, maybe you could do that, but it would take forever considering the scale and how far you guys could be apart, you know? It's just, you know, just people who just keep thinking and telling me, like, at work I have friends who are always like, I'm gonna run into, you know, my friend because because we're going to try at it for a long time. Oh, you are. You're going to try it for a long time. You're going to try at it for what, months? Months. You're going to do that for months. Sure you are. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. And if people run into each other, great, but you can't plan it. You're not going to plan it. And people say they're going to plan it. And I'll get comments on here of people saying they're going to plan to meet up with their friends. You know what? You go right ahead. Go right ahead and spend your time doing that, because I will not be. But I just want to let people know. I'm not insulting anybody. I'm not trying to insult people. This is just things I think are funny. I really do. Like, all the ways people are thinking to meet up with people, they're probably not going to work. At least for a while. So just don't expect a multiplayer at launch. Now, Sean Murray says, after No Man's Sky is released, he wants to keep working on the game, not like DLC form, but just add different activities that players can like interact with the world more. I bet you fans will probably request a multiplayer, like a PvP aspect into the game, and maybe then it will be put in. Maybe down the line, Sean Murray and the team will be like, fine, we'll add a separate kind of activity that's separate from the entire universe and make it multiplayer. I don't think they will ever implement multiplayer PvP aspect into the actual game how it is now. I don't think they'll do that, because they say they're building a game that's not about multiplayer. So I don't think their opinions are going to change later down the line. You can say they'll change because they'll want money, they'll want people to pay for DLC to go to the game. First of all, I don't think that if they ever make DLC, which they said they weren't going to do, they were just going to make new things and just implement them, I don't think they're going to ask for money, really, truthfully. I don't think they will. They're going to be kind of like The Witcher 3 at first was, where they didn't want to do paid DLC, even though they eventually did. I guess that says whatever you want to take from that, but I don't think they'll do it like that. I just don't think there's going to be multiplayer. I don't think there will be. I mean, that's just an opinion from a guy who has no, personal experience through or with Hello Games. Neither do I know any of them, but I don't think that's how this game is going to work, and I am particularly glad about it, actually. I don't want a multiplayer. I've said that multiple times. Once again, this isn't about me ranting on about people asking about multiplayer, but just don't expect it, because I already can see the game launching, people buying the game, and then complaining that there's no multiplayer, even though it has been said time and time again that there will be no multiplayer. So, I just wanted to get that out there, because I keep seeing comments of people talking about multiplayer. There's not one. They've said there won't be one at launch. So don't expect one, basically, is where I'm going with this. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave this video here. If you guys liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up for me and subscribe for everything and anything No Man's Sky. Make sure to check out my last video, which was on procedurally generated music in No Man's Sky. That will be linked in the outro. I hope you guys have an amazing and awesome day. My name has been JustJarrod, aka the No Man's Sky guy, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.